Hi there, Reece Toscani here again, bringing another video from Fireplace Products down at our showrooms at Lower Barn Farm. I'm here today to talk to you about the Aarrow Ecoburn 5 multi-fuel stove, which we have here on sale from our showroom. Now this model is no longer available, but that doesn't mean you aren't getting a great deal on this stove. We currently have 25% off of the recommended retail price, which brings it down at a fantastically low price of $5.99. I'm just going to run through the quick features of it with you. So, using the lovely polished stainless steel handle, open the door like that. It's got a real nice positive lock on the door. You can really feel that shut when that does, which is an important thing to do when choosing the stove. Now inside here, you'll see we have a vermiculite interior. Now that is a fireboard that is non-combustible, so it will never burn. It may need replacing over time throughout the use, but it's easily, readily available material and fairly low cost. Inside the stove, you will see, if I pop out these two log retaining bars and the operation tool, you'll see the multi-fuel grate inside that riddles backwards and forwards. Now that allows the ash to fall down into the ash pan underneath for easily ash removal. Pop those back in. Now this stove does feature external riddling, which is done on this side here, and you have a positive and negative for more air and less air. Now the reason that you have that on this system is that the Aarrow grate actually incorporates the secondary air coming into the stove. Now what that means is that by having it on the positive, you're allowing more gap between the multi-fuel grills, so the teeth that sit on the side of the grate bars, and that allows more air in. So depending on whether you're burning wood or coal, you want that at different settings. And it actually says on the side there as well, wood and coal, to make it nice and easy for you when you're using. Now to get the air into that, you use this very simple slide control at the bottom there, which allows the air to come in through the door, at the back here. That then passes through here, and then depending on the setting that you have your grate on, will then rise up from underneath. Now the important part on that is that when you're burning coal or smokeless fuels, you need that air supply coming up from underneath the fuel. When you're burning wood, ideally you want that air running over the top, although having air coming up from underneath doesn't really matter too much when you're burning wood. It's more important for coal. Now I can show you the difference between a wood and a multi-fuel stove by looking at the stove I have next to it. Again, from the Aarrow family, this is the Signature 5. Now looking at them, appearance-wise, they're pretty much identical stoves. They're both about the same height, they're both pretty much the same width, the same depth. You'll see the main difference here on the front of them is the Ecoburn 5 has the ash lip on it, whereas the Signature 5 doesn't. And the reason for that is the Signature 5, actually has a curved door. So open that there, and you can see that actually the glass on this one curves slightly. So you get a slightly more panoramic view of the flames when it's burning. Now fundamentally inside, again, fire bricks lining on the inside there. But what's different this time is we don't have those riddling grate bars. There's no external riddling on the side. Instead we have a flat wood tray with two slots that allow the ash to fall down into the ash pan, again, for easily emptying or during maintenance. This wood burning only version allows you to get larger logs into the firebox as opposed to the multi-fuel, which by having that grate in place restricts the amount of wood that you can actually get inside the stove. Now while you've got these doors open here, another point to mention is the primary air control, which is this lever up the top. Now as you can see, this lever opens gaps in the top here when it's open, and when I shut that, you can see those gaps close. Now what that's doing is when I open it, allows air in, down behind this plate of steel, and then out along this shelf here. Now the reason these are two different shapes is again because of that curved glass that you have on the Signature that you don't have on the Ecoburn. What this does, as you have these little gaps here, is it allows the air to come through and then down the inside of the glass. And this is more commonly known as air wash. Air wash systems allow to help keep the glass clean to prevent sooting and tar building up on the stove during operation. You really want to, once you have your stove burning, regulate the temperature and the control of air from your primary air control at the top. Now both of these stoves are ex-showroom. Both of them are no longer available from Arrada. They're moving their stoves in a different direction at the moment. There's nothing wrong with them at all. They are just, as I say, ex-showroom models that we're able to offer at a fantastically low price today. One other thing to keep in mind with an Aarrow stove is that on these 5 kilowatt versions you get a 4-inch flue outlet. Craig, if you can pan up slightly there so that people at home can see that bit of flue sticking out the top. So with our 4-inch piece of flue that we have here, when you're putting this into a chimney or if you're running a twin wall double insulated liner off the top, this pipe will run up into an existing chimney breast. You'll put a register plate in to seal it, the pipe will pass through the register plate, and away you go. Now when fitting this onto a liner, you will need to increase the diameter of this stovepipe, up to 5-inch, so that it complies with local regulations. If you've got any questions about fitting or flue pipe or anything, you can always call our sales office. All flue pipe is available to purchase from us, and with both of these stoves you actually get a free 1 metre length of pipe included within the price. So not only are you getting a fantastic deal on the stove, you're also getting some free gifts too. That's about all we have time for today. I've been Reece Toscani here at Fireplace Products, and I look forward to seeing you soon.